I had a conversation before I spoke at the Oxford Union at Oxford University a few years ago now, 3 years ago, with two, I must have been 17, 18-year-olds who really had sussed the world and everything in it by the age of 18. There was nothing new to learn. And I looked at these two people, and when I was talking to them, and they literally said, one of them in particular, they could not comprehend a world or a society that did not have a top-down hierarchical government imposing law upon the people. Otherwise, they said there'd be chaos. And they couldn't perceive of a world that was different from that. And that's what the left brain does. Well, if you get to that stage by 18, well, my goodness me, where are you going to be at 70?
Well, they've wiped out all of the cultures that were examples of that, the cultures that did not run on money. I mean, the imposition of money is, and the imposition of interest in particular, because money is just a means of saying, I'll give you a fish for, a bag of wheat or whatever. And instead of actually, carrying the fish around, carrying the bag of wheat around, people started trading shells and things. It was the imposition of the interest, really, on the money that creates a situation where people are left in need. There's one person running around collecting all of this interest, and everybody else is left in a state of shortage. Without the shortage, there is no reason for murder, for robbery, and for all of these things. And the state of shortage is intentional. It's created, and it's created through interest. It's created through the monetary system and that sort of thing.
Manufactured scarcity is fundamental because you have to have a large number of have-nots to create the divisions and structures and fault lines in society that we see. It's all a mind game in the end, and interest on money is something that these people have been playing for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, and it's something I go into in the book about money. You see, money is not just what it seems to be, it's energy, that's what it is. And when they put money out, and people own money, whatever we own, whatever we attach to energetically while we own it. For instance, all these books that go out, they're all an extension of me, because I created them. When an artist does a picture and has loads of prints done, all those prints are extensions of them. And when we own money, that is an extension of us. And when it's an extension of us, it's all going on a vibrational level. That money, while it's in our ownership, not just in our pocket, but in our ownership, it might just be figures in a bank, but we're energetically connected to it. It's attaching to our energy field. This is what a lot of people don't understand, how deeply this goes. So when the Rothschild banking cartel, global banking cartel, puts money out, as it goes round from person to person, it's actually being impregnated by their energy field of enormous numbers of people. And then through taxation, through interest on money and all the rest of it, it goes back, and through the corporations, governments, it goes back to source. It goes back to the Rothschild cartel, which I see symbolically as a massive lake that's getting bigger all the time. There's all these channels of money, canals of money coming in. And what it is, on that deep level, is another profound form of energy vampiring.
Well, I'm certain it's the same in Britain. In 1983, the Grace Commission determined that all of the money collected in taxes went solely to pay the interest on the debt in America. And I'm sure it's the same here. We're no longer actually, paying money to support infrastructure of any sort. We're paying money solely to pay interest on a debt which is nothing but pure profit by the criminals who have, started these banking systems.
Well, when you look at it, I mean, again, people get pulled into, obviously, looking at the world as it unfolds by the day, and that surviving another day, surviving another week. But when you take a deep breath and you step back and you look at it, the more and more money that has been generated in the world, the more and more that people spend it and all the rest of it, the less and less we're getting for it. So the great infrastructures you talk about, infrastructure is falling apart all over the world. Basic services to the public, essential services, are falling apart and getting less and less and less. So how come we're generating more and more and we're getting less and less and less? And this is not just since this recession since 2008, September 2008. We're talking this as a quite obvious process and theme that's unfolded over decades and decades and decades of the 20th century. That the more that we how much now are we paying out in taxation? You know, if someone did a study, and they should if they're not already, and they took a basic monthly income, and then they took off all the taxation, not just the taxation in income tax, the taxation in sales tax, the taxation in this tax and that tax. In the book, I've listed just a fraction, really, of American taxes and what Americans are taxed on. It's staggering. Now, you take all that together, fishing license tax, driving license tax, all this tax, you look at what's left of your monthly or annual income after the taxation has been taken out in all its many and various forms, including interest on money, some form of tax, and you'd be staggered. People would be staggered at how little is left. And that little is left is getting smaller all the time. Now they want taxation for global warming that doesn't exist, and all the rest of it. So what they're doing is, again, coming back to what I said a few minutes ago, the vampiring of the human energy field is just getting more and more profound, more and more obvious, and expressing itself in one way by this stealing of our income. And then this is another area, you know, one of the biggest weapons, vehicles for this control system to operate is, ironically, the left of politics. Because I call them the robot radicals. Because they want to wear that, I'm talking about the extreme level here, but again, the mentality is still the same, even at the non-extreme level. It's like, yeah, we want more taxation to help the poor. Well, hold on a second, mate. Taxation is going through the fricking stratosphere. Where's the help for the poor? There is none. The two don't actually go together. And people are poor because of the money system that ensures that the overwhelming vast majority of the wealth in the world goes into the hands of the few. And yet the left of politics, they're supposed to be the radicals, the people that care about the poor and all the rest of it. They're the ones that stand up in support of this mass theft called mass taxation that is serving the interests of the very bankers and banking families of the Rothschilds and Rockefellers, etc., who are making the poor poor all over the world, in developing countries or undeveloping countries they really are, or in what we call the West. It's the robot radicals are some of the most mixed up, unaware people you'll ever come across, you know. I mean, it was the robot radicals of the left more recently that picked up the whole global warming thing. Oh, yeah, global warming. Because robot radicals want to get angry, and they want to get angry believing that they are in a morally superior... excuse me. Bless me. They used to say, you know what they used to say? You used to say that. You used to say bless you because a long time ago they thought it was evil spirits coming out when you sneezed. Actually, it's your little tickle in your nose. Actually, not evil spirits. But anyway,
that actually is wishing you good health.
Is it? Oh, right. Well, best. It depends where you go, I guess. But what it is with the this robot radical mentality, as I call it. First of all, they want to get angry. They want to they want to be angry and rebel without a cause. But I better find one. And but they're not really rebels. They're serving the system. They don't realise it. And on the other side, they have this sense of moral superiority. I'm of the left. I care about people. Well, actually, so do lots of other people care about people, but they don't have to serve the system doing it in the way that you are.